We are the keepers of the flame, the sacred order. Let the ceremony begin. Today, we take a look at this. And what this is, guys, is El Castillo hot sauce from CaJohn's. There we got a nice picture of a temple. Very cool. And it's flavor with fire. Oh boy, can we pull this really in. Let's try it. Okay, here you go. Guys, feel free to pause the screen and read this if you would care to. And here's the rest of the stuff that's on there if you guys are interested in that. Nutritional facts, we don't care about that. And let's get to the getting. So vinegar, unnamed chili peppers, sugar, salt, garlic, black peppers, spices, lemon extract. Now, I tried to find what those peppers were exactly. My suspicion is probably arbol and maybe jalapeno or something like that. Guys, you can see there's little flecks of pepper and some of the other stuff in the sauce there on the neck. And this comes with a restrictor cap. So let's take a look. Let's get a little bit more in there. Okay. So there it is, guys. You guys can see it's a little on the thicker side for having a restrictor cap, but it's not, certainly not super thin or super thick, either one. And let's try it by itself. It's possible there's some habanero in here. I'd be kind of surprised if there wasn't. I'm getting a little bit of maybe a serrano or jalapeno possibly. It's a very well blended sauce. I will say this, I think having the vinegar on the same sauce with a lemon or lemon extract definitely adds a certain, it's a level of piquancy I don't know that this sauce really needs. It's not bad, it's just, I'm not sure how to describe it. It's just a little bit astringent for me, I think. I wouldn't say it's a bad sauce by any means. It's very well blended. It tastes really good like this. This is one of the few sauces that just having it by itself is not you get the black pepper, you get what feels like the arbols or some sort of chili along those lines that'd be powdered. A little bit of graininess to it as well. Let's try it out on food. So here I have some Taco Bell. We've got a chalupa. We've got a taco, just a hard shell taco. And so here we are. And I think I'm gonna, maybe I'll do both. So the restrictor cap is a little bit of a pain here. We want to just get that on the meat like so. Well, maybe we'll do the chalupa too. Now this chalupa is a toasted cheese, so there's cheese on the crust there. Now this is very, very thick. You can see we've got, I don't know how we're gonna get everything in there. So we've got sour cream on here as well. Let's kind of just make sure we get enough of that in there to kind of cut through that. Okay, so let's start with the taco. Get kind of a feel for this. So there it is, the old taco. Now these Taco Bell tacos are pretty big, so you have a lot of stuff here. It's just lettuce and cheese. So we'll see how this cuts through with a bite with everything, and then we might need to bust out some of this lettuce and cheese depending on how it goes. I'm getting a little bit of heat. This sauce is a little spiky. It does have a reasonable amount of heat. Certainly there's taco sauce is hotter. Probably this is, I would say this is probably pushing the end of the commercial ones though. So I busted off some of the chips and lettuce and cheese there. Try to see if I can really get a hold of the flavor here, just more by itself. Where you can get it, it's really good. The problem I'm running into with this is there's so much piquancy that really starts to overshadow things. And then with the black pepper, I'm getting bitterness from the black pepper. So I think the sauce is really well blended, very smooth, but the flavors are just, they're odd because most of the Mexican style sauces you'll see them, they'll be warm, they'll be kind of earthy, that whole wrap themselves around you kind of a thing. Because a lot of Mexican food is comfort food and the spices kind of follow that. Certainly vinegar is not a comforting thing, it's very abrasive. And lemon can be as well. And that just, it sort of dominates and overrides the food. But that's not really what you want. If you want the sauce by itself, you can just eat the sauce by itself, right? You want to accent and flavor the food and improve it to make it better. Let's try this chalupa. I almost never eat these heavy things. It's chewy, it's crunchy. You guys saw how much sauce I put on there? It's like it doesn't even exist. So let's I can't rip it well. Let's try just the bottom. Blends and meshes a little bit better. The sour cream that's on this is tempering it a little bit. But not really enough. That's just very abrasive. It's a very abrasive sauce. I guess you could use this in fairly small doses. Unfortunately, Mexican style sauces, this would be, the abrasiveness, the piquancy is closer to probably what you see in a Louisiana style sauce. Mexican style sauces typically don't have that to this extent, and there's a good reason why. It's just really, it's hard to enjoy this. It's not a bad sauce. It's just a little tough to enjoy because components of it are so overpowering. That would be okay in a more flavorful sauce, I think. But when you have something like this, that's really very punchy, and you start to get some heat build up in conjunction with sort of a little bit of bitterness from the black pepper, and it just doesn't make for a happy experience, I guess. I wouldn't say this is a bad sauce. The flavoring system in conjunction with what it actually is doing and what effects it is just, it makes it hard to use. You almost have to get a better tasting sauce to combine with it so that you can enjoy it. Other than that, it tends to dominate the flavoring quite a bit. If you use it in low enough doses, you can get a pretty okay heat spike out of this. There is a good amount of solid heat there. Not anything that is going to make any chili head, too uncomfortable. But for most people, just using a little bit of this will give them enough of a spike for them to feel it. If you use too much of it, they'll really feel it. I think for chili heads, it's hard to use a lot of it to get to that sort of effect, if that's what you're after, because just it really the piquancy is just really overpowering with this particular thing, which is unfortunate. The flavoring system here, if it could be dialed back a little bit, smoothed out and made into more of a warmer embrace, I think would be a winner. As it is now, it's just too punchy and dominates the food, this Mexican food that I put this on, and it's unfortunate. Most commercial tacos need a little bit of help, and this is not really the help they need. This in some ways, guys, makes it worse. And Taco Bell Del Taco, you're not really starting with an especially high level to begin with, so a little bit unfortunate. But this certainly isn't going to take away from my interest in CaJohn's sauces. CaJohn's I would put right up there, maybe the top 2 or 3 of sauce making companies out there. They've got, if you guys go and look into my standby sauces, they've got 2 or 3 of the spots in there, and they've got won a number of sauce of the years as well. So they're a very solid sauce making company for sure. Just nobody's perfect, right? There's different tastes for everything, and if you really like astringency, this would be worth a try. But there it is, guys. There is the supplemental footage for the blog post on this particular sauce, guys. Link will be in the description below. Feel free to check it out if you want to. And that's going to do it. Go forth in peace to serve the flame.